This is the Baseline Facetime Podcast. We've got another great episode coming for you today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and welcome to the show. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Baseline Facetime Podcast, episode 21, coming right out of, Game 5 of the NBA Finals probably ended about an hour ago. Really excited just to get this next episode up, and just in a really, really intriguing finals matchup. We're going to get into all of that. We've got a special guest joining us for this episode, and one of my good friends, Skyler Bauer, joining the show all the way from Tennessee. Skyler, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, Troy. I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I am doing well, man. I know you caught that game. We're going to get into it, but what'd you think? Just in a couple words.
Jimmy G buckets, baby.
Jimmy G buckets. He did it again in Game 5 to get the Miami Heat needed win. Obviously down 3-1. They force a Game 6, and they win that game 111-108. My last episode that we did was just after Game 4, and or just after Game 3, I'm sorry. So we need to recap a little Game 4 action. We need to get into tonight's game, Game 5, and then look ahead. So that'll be kind of the outline for what we're going to go through. But, Skyler, let me ask you a couple questions just so the fans can get to know you. So, Skyler, big basketball fan. Like, where does that stem from? Like, what's your, I know you've got some experience in the basketball realm over the last couple years. Just share a little bit about that.
Troy, my basketball prowl started when I was a little kid. My mom and dad got me a little, Fisher Price hoop, starting when I was like 2 years old, and I've just been with the game ever since. Growing up, my dad taught me how to dribble, how to shoot, how to pass, all the fundamentals. And I wasn't never good enough to play like on teams or anything like that. But I'd kill it here and pick up games every once in a while.
Yep, I hear you there. And then you got some involvement on a D1 program over the last couple years. What was that like, and where was that at?
So I had the privilege of being the senior manager for Austin Peay State University Governors basketball last season. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because just being able to get behind the scenes and just see like what goes on in the day-to-day program for a collegiate Division I team. It was a really incredible experience. Got to travel a lot and see a lot of cool venues in the Ohio Valley Conference, also the OVC, which is what the Governors are in.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a couple.
And remind the people, I know who it is. Remind the people of a pretty big name who came out of that league just a couple years ago.
He was the Rookie of the Year, right? John Morant, 99.
John Morant, bro, played in the OVC at Murray State. Pretty big name, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool. I wish you would have been, involved with the Govs when you guys got to play him. I know you went to the game, so you saw Ja play live, right?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It was gut-wrenching, man, because, first of all, he came in and dropped a 37-piece, which is not cool.
Did he really?
Yeah, and...
At Austin Peay.
At Austin Peay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the worst part of it was we hang in there, though, because, Murray State and Austin Peay have a really huge rivalry. So, it came down to a buzzer beater for Austin Peay to win the game, or to tie the game, mind you, to go into overtime. But got an offensive rebound. Clock expired right as he was about to put it in. So,
yeah,
we came up short, but it was still a hard fought victory for the Racers.
Yep, obviously pretty cool to be able to see Ja, and pretty cool. Just to have that basketball, experience, and I know, recently you've gotten involved in a little bit of coaching, and so that's pretty cool too, just to keep that going. But let's just dive in. So we've got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Like I said, recap a couple games, and then move forward to what we see coming in this series. So let's talk about how they got here. Like I said, Lakers lead 3-2. We're coming at you October 9th, Friday night. This will probably be posted pretty soon, actually, and it's pretty soon after the conclusion of the game. And so, game one. Lakers come out, they dominate. I think they led by as many as like 25-30 in that one. It could be wrong, but they had a big lead. Game two, Lakers won by 10, a little bit more competitive in that one. No Bam, no Goran Dragic in games two and game three as well. Game three, back against the wall, down 2-0. Miami, you already alluded to it. Jimmy G buckets. The G stands for gets with a 40-point triple-double in that one to win by 11. Miami needed that one. All right, and then we get to game four and game five. Game four, Lakers won that one 102-96, and that's their first game since our previous episode. So, Miami really could have used that one, right? I think everyone thought, they go down 3-1, it's not looking pretty. But LeBron and AD did what they did, 28, 12, and 8 for LeBron in game four to get a 6-point victory. AD with 22, KCP, third leading scorer with 15. Jimmy just not quite enough, almost a triple-double with 22, 10, and 9 in another 43-minute game. He's played a lot of minutes in this series, man. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I, it's surprising, honestly. Like, I mean, I think there was a stat today that I think Jimmy only played like there was only like 48 seconds where he didn't play tonight.
Really? Really, yeah. I mean, he's had to, and he's been forced into this even aggressive nature. And I alluded to it in our NBA Finals preview episode. Like, Jimmy had to come into this series and be aggressive if they had any chance to win. And so he's done that. He stepped into it because, again, sometimes you see Jimmy go out there and play a little, not casual, but definitely not looking first for his own offense. He'll go into halftime with 3-4 shot attempts and 3 or 4 points sometimes, and not necessarily that's a bad thing that he's looking out for his teammates, but especially with the injuries to Bam and Goran early in this series, he's been forced to carry a lot or do a lot of the heavy lifting in this one. Bam returned in Game 4, a big X factor for them. He had 15 and 7. He played 33 minutes, so maybe not on a complete minute restriction, obviously, but maybe a little more they wanted out of him. Hero and Duncan Robinson kept a minute in this one with their shooting 21 and 17. Again, talking about game 4 here. Lakers, yet again, for the fourth straight time, were able to outshoot the Miami Heat from 3, 14-11. And again, I think, and I want to hear your opinion on this. Actually, let's just start with you. So, Goran Dragic goes down early game 1. Games 2, 3, 4, 5 are without him. How big of a loss do you think that has been?
Honestly, like, this series would be so much closer if he was playing. Dragic really provides a lot for this team in terms of veteran leadership and just his ability to just facilitate the ball and score as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and you alluded to it, he does so much for this offense as another veteran piece that they need desperately, right? With a lot of those other young guys that they have, and him and Jimmy kind of being the vets. But I mean, he was averaging like 20 points a game, in that previous series, I believe, with Boston. And it's a huge blow. It's a huge blow to be without him. And I think part of that also flows into Jimmy Butler taking more of that leadership, aggressiveness on and taking that role. So after Game 4, and obviously we know what happened in Game 5, but after Game 4, Lakers were able to take the commanding 3-1 lead. I think we kind of expected that. I know you and I had talked prior to Game 4, but after that, you gotta be feeling pretty good about the Lakers' chances.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, this really isn't surprising to me that Miami was able to squeak out another one just because of
Yeah.
just the situation they're in. Like they're a very hard nosed team. Like
That's the team they are.
yeah, like they're built on toughness. Like they haven't gotten this far on anything but that.
Yeah. Yep, I think so like you said, they were able to squeak one out in game 5, able to get it done and force a game 6 in this one. So it's interesting. I know you and I had talked about this too. The Lakers, as soon as they got that third win, maybe the next day they said, "All right, you know what jerseys we're going to come out in, right? We're going to come out in the Black Mamba jerseys. We're going to do it for Kobe. We're going to close it out." And they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. Exciting game 5, 111-108 finish for the Miami Heat. Man, let's just camp out here for a little bit. There's a lot to break down, especially in the fourth quarter of this one.
Oh gosh,
This was a very, very, very good basketball game, and I enjoyed watching it. What's your, go ahead, what's your initial thoughts on this? And obviously you alluded to the Heat's grit and toughness, but what else?
The thing that really surprised me the most was actually KCP, Kentavious Caldwell Pope for the Lakers. I was really impressed how he showed up tonight. As we know, the past couple of years he's been, I guess you could say, a quote unquote shooting slump, and even throughout these playoffs, he hasn't exactly been productive at times. And tonight he showed up, 16 points. 3 boards, two dimes off the rip here, and contributed big time in some key moments there.
Yeah, absolutely. He showed up. Obviously, we know what LeBron was able to do with 13 rebounds, 7 assists on 15 of 21 shooting. I mean, dude, you're 17 LeBron. And then AD showing up with a solid 28 and 12, I believe, and some pretty good defense, from him as well. Jimmy doing what Jimmy does with 35, 12. How many assists? 11 assists. Is that right?
Yep.
I think he had 11 assists and 5 steals.
Really?
Jimmy Butler doing what Jimmy Butler does. In order to get it done. Duncan Robinson was huge in this one. 26 on 7 threes. He had that tough and one. The dude can absolutely shoot the ball. And what amazes me about him is how quick his release is. I mean, that dude is the definition of catch and shoot.
Oh, yeah, he's got...
And Miami went with the 7-man rotation in this one. With Kendrick Nunn and Iguodala off the bench. So, like you said, Jimmy played all but 40-something seconds.
Yeah, 40.
And other guys obviously stepped up as well and played a lot of minutes. I'm going to be the first one to admit, and I can say this because I did say Lakers in 6, just saying. But after that game 4, I wrote Miami off. I said they're done. I mean, you can see on the outline that I had prepared after Game 4, if we were going to do an episode before Game 5, I was like, let's just pay our respects to Miami.
Right.
And I know you saw that, and now it's like, okay, well, 3-2, they might be able to force a Game 7, and then you never know what's going to happen. So, big time win for Miami. Way to get it done. Man. They couldn't get it done in the Black Mamba jerseys. It'd be really tacky for them to go and wear those again, right? Like, they can't wear those again, right?
Yeah, no, like, you gotta seal the deal when you have them tonight. Like, unfortunately, they didn't get it done, but...
Yeah. And I would have liked to see him get it done. Let's talk about that fourth quarter for a moment. And so, I believe the margin for every quarter in terms of... Miami scoring and LA scoring, I think the largest margin for any quarter was 3 points in the second and fourth quarter. I think the Lakers won by 3 in the fourth, and the Heat won by 3 in the second quarter, and the other first and third quarters were closer than that. So just, again, alluding to a remarkable game here, but down the stretch, there was a lot of Jimmy and a lot of LeBron. What did you see there?
I mean, you already named it out. Like they were throwing haymakers at each other going into the half.
Yeah. Yep, and then down the stretch too. I mean, just kind of iso ball.
Yeah, LeBron was just pulling up from everywhere. Like I remember, I picked up on this about LeBron. If he dribbles around, looks down, and then does like one more dribble, he's gonna shoot the ball.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, it was really, really entertaining to watch those last few minutes going back and forth, and I really, my gut was telling me LeBron down one or two with the ball in his hands, and they had that opportunity, but they didn't go to LeBron. What are your thoughts on the way that last possession played out? So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the last two possessions, Jimmy goes hard to the line, or goes hard to the bucket with 20 seconds, gets fouled. They're down one. He makes both. And then 16.1 seconds, I think, Laker ball, down one. It's like literally the perfect ending is about to be written in my head. I'm like, bro, I'm getting my popcorn ready. I'm like, he's about to do this for Kobe. He's about to hit it from like the Damian Lillard shot against your boys. Sorry, no offense, against the Thunder. I mean, he's about to be logo Lillard, logo LeBron, and do it for the NBA Finals. Do it for Kobe in the Black Mamba jerseys. And then what'd he do? Bro drives and passes to Danny Green. Like, bro, that is not the storybook ending. Am I wrong? Or like, what do you think? Like, dude, I was so disappointed.
And this is just my basketball opinion. Personally,
oh, bro,
hang on, hold on, bear with me.
Let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Let's go.
So, obviously, with 16 seconds left, game on the line, you already know where the ball's going. Yes. You already know it's going to be in LeBron's hands. So, obviously, defense is going to key in on LeBron and make it very difficult for him to score a bucket. So, that means they're going to have to force somebody else on the Lakers to beat them. Now,
and that's what Van Gundy was saying, right? And he said, you let one of these guys hit a shot and you go home, happy that LeBron didn't do it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'll be honest with you, like, I don't think I'd draw it up for Danny Green, but
Danny not so green bean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, personally, like from a basketball standpoint, it's the right play. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Now, what I really want to focus on is what happened after that.
With Morris?
Yes.
Yeah, explain that to me, because I was like, what just happened? But hold on. So yeah, right basketball play. I mean, I guess. But if you're LeBron James, so like I wouldn't have even. Well, I guess what I was picturing and what I wanted in my perfect world was what I had mentioned of just a deep three. So like LeBron not even penetrate, LeBron just sit out there, dribble, because they're not going to double without a screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just go one-on-one. Do that little move you talked about, and just pull up.
Mm-hmm.
It goes. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that they didn't do that. And again, he was it a screen from Danny Green? Again, the game just ended, so it's like I haven't seen a replay of it, but because LeBron kind of got doubled with Jimmy and Duncan Robinson, I believe, because of a screen that Green set. So I think, I don't know if you remember, but Danny Green sets a screen. Duncan Robinson leaves Danny, stays with Jimmy on LeBron, and then like you said, right basketball play, throw it out to a 3-point shooter who's struggling. Obviously, let's be honest, but top of the key, Danny Green for 3 for the NBA Finals, and he missed. Right, I mean that was the play. And I think LeBron gets that screen and LeBron gets a one-on-one matchup. He's taking it.
Oh yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
So all right, now what you were saying, Lakers got the rebound, and it reminded me of the won't go or back out to Allen or whatever. Rebound Bosch, back out to Allen. So and then Morris gets the ball, and what happened?
So in his infinite amount of basketball IQ, And instead of passing it to the man behind him, or actually, excuse me, in front of him, he turns around, looks at the basket, and tries to fling it into Anthony Davis, who's being defended. The ball just flies straight over his head, out of bounds. Miami ball. Seals the deal.
Yeah, Miami ball with about 2 seconds. Tyler Hero gets the inbound, gets fouled, makes both free throws, and then that was it. But yeah, he tries and gets it into Anthony Davis. Just a horrid pass over his head. I don't know how you overthrow Anthony Davis. But I don't know if you saw LeBron. Did you see where LeBron was on that play? Dude was wide open.
Was he?
I was screaming. I was like, hit him. So he's over in the same area on the wing where he passed it up to Danny Green. Wide open. I thought Morris was going to hit him with 2.5 seconds. LeBron sits there, takes like a mid-range, maybe a three, and calls game. That would have been perfect, bro. He was open. Morris, I would have gave it to him.
It is what it is, brother.
Yeah, you have to check that out. You have to see. I mean, he looked open to me. I'll tell you that much. But again, I still like the idea of LeBron getting the ball there, not giving it up. I mean, because again, it's not like, and I know this might not be the correct thing to say. It's probably not why I'm a coach, but it's easier. It's easier to go 1-on-1, let LeBron take a three, when you're up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. I think when it's 3-3, Game 7, and you're down 1 with 16 seconds, then I think you look more to like let's make a play. If I get doubled, I'm going to pass it out. But if I'm up 3-1, I'm letting LeBron yak this thing up. I'm letting him get his 4th ring. I'm letting him have the game-winning shot in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. It would have been absolutely historic, and I was so let down, dude, if you can't tell.
Oh, yeah. That's how the cookie crumbles, man. I mean, like you just kind of said, like, as much as we want that, that's primetime television, but,
yeah.
Like, you just got to do what you got to do at the end of the day to get that chip, and just didn't pan out at all. But, hey, that's why there's...
Not in this one.
That's why it's best of 7.
That's why it's best of 7. That's what the Miami Heat have been kind of saying all throughout this series. It's not the first to 3. It's the first to 4 wins. And they stay alive. Anything else on this game other than just, like, let's give some praise to the Miami Heat? I mean, wow.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest with you. I figured it was going to be, like, a huge, like, frustration battle between the Lakers and Heat, especially how the first quarter happened with Jimmy Buckets and Dwight Howard getting tangled up in the little...
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it was a very good game. Fun to watch, dude. I'm already looking forward to Game 6 on Sunday. So let's just move forward to that. Again, shout out to the Heat for forcing a Game 6 without Dragic, with some other injuries and things, with a 7-man rotation, playing against 2 of the top 5 players in the world, with Jimmy Butler and a bunch of youngsters. Like, dude, this team battles. And it's just a perfect picture of what they've done and what they've kind of believed in themselves all year. And with Eric Spoelstra, a great coach, I mean, they just beat LeBron in a closeout game, which doesn't happen very often, who had a 40-point, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 15 of 21 shooting performance. Like, they just beat him. And the quarters were all close, but the Lakers didn't lead for all of the second and third quarters. They got a lead late in the fourth, and it went back and forth, obviously, at the end. But, man, shout out to the Heat. Shout out to Jimmy Butler for doing his thing down in Miami. And I think something else obviously worth noting, big congratulations to LeBron for now tying, I believe, Derek Fisher for most career playoff games.
Really?
Yes. I forget the exact number, 240, 250 something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tying Derek Fisher, who's number one. Obviously, LeBron will eclipse that mark. Total playoff games played. He'll break that on Sunday. So big shout out to him for that. He's just continuing to reach milestones, set records, with every given playoff game, literally at this point.
Yeah, that's just something to admire, and I really honestly think that's something that a lot of people don't really recognize in the column of greatness.
Preach,
Like,
preach, bro. They don't respect it.
mm-mm. People just like to look at championships, or you know how many playoff appearances, or just really the win column, but you don't ever look at the longevity, like the skill and the discipline it takes to keep your body maintained for such a high level for so long is, I mean, it's incredible. Like, you can probably count
Yeah.
on your fingers how many people have played 20 plus seasons in the NBA, just about. Or in LeBron's
Yeah.
case, 17. Like, I'm sure he'll probably play maybe 3 or 4 more years, and he'll probably call it good, if that. But it's still incredible,
Yeah.
nonetheless.
It really it's amazing. The dude is flat out amazing, and man, we got to just continue to watch him. Like you said, a few more years, he's still playing at this extreme level. Who knows how long it'll be, but it's not going to be that much longer, you know. So we just got to continue to watch this greatness of what LeBron James is doing in year 17, on the pursuit of his fourth ring with the Los Angeles Lakers, his first with them. Man, impressive stuff. Continue to watch LeBron. So let's just get into some preview action now. We've broken down Game 5. Incredible game. Miami gets it out, or sneaks that one. And so Game 6 coming up on Sunday. What do you think? How can the Miami Heat force a Game 7 in this series? Whether it's someone stepping up, someone doing this, or they shoot better. That what's something you're looking for, so that Miami can force a Game 7.
I mean, honestly, just how it started in Game 4. Jimmy G Buckets got a 40-point triple double, and they were just persistent from the get go in that game as well. I think they need to continue that energy.
Game 3.
Oh, was it Game 3? Excuse me. Wait, was it Game 3?
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes, Game 3. That was the same energy. You got to keep that same energy over and over and over.
Yeah, it's got to be Jimmy being aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught him at the end of Game 5 tonight. He said we're still hoping and praying that we can get number 7 back, in Goran Dragic, of course. He wants to play so bad. You saw him go out there and warm up, and it's like, dude, I feel so bad for this guy. I don't know how likely it is that they can get him back. Doesn't seem to be very likely. But as you alluded to earlier, a few minutes ago, I mean, what an impact and what a loss that has been, and how different this series could actually be if he were playing. Maybe it's 3-2 Miami, but it's 3-2 LA. Game 6 coming up on Sunday. Both you and I are looking for Jimmy to be aggressive. I think they're going to continue to need the shooting. So again, whether it's a Duncan Robinson doing what he did tonight, whether it's Tyler Hero stepping up and hitting a lot of threes, whether it's Bam stepping up, and he played well. He had some moments. Obviously, he's had a great playoff run, still battling that injury. Man, it's going to be good, Game 6. So I think I'm going to stick with the Lakers in Game 6, just so I can say I got it right, since I predicted that at the jump. Lakers in 6, we'll see. What do you think? What do you honestly think is going to happen? Will we see a Game 7?
I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you. So, my perfect world would consist of a Game 7. But
I hear that.
But if I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly think it's going to be a Game 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think how give me something bold. It's your first time on the show. You got to earn your way back. So give me something bold. Give me Jimmy's gonna drop 50.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Give me something, a bold prediction that is gonna help Miami move to Game 7.
Personally, I just think that they're just gonna really pound the paint and just get at it in there because if I remember correctly, I believe Anthony Davis hurt himself at some point during this
Yep.
this tonight, and he won't be 100%. I forgot to mention that earlier. Actually, I just remembered it. So,
Yeah.
even though Anthony Davis is still one of the best players on the floor, if he's not 100%, then Miami can exploit that in some way and possibly sneak away with a Game 6 win.
Okay. So exploiting Anthony Davis. Um, I think that one very bold, but I think to your point, Bam Adebayo is key.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Again, battling injury. He only had 13, 4, and 4 tonight, which obviously isn't terrible, you know what I mean, but not to the playoff numbers and things that we've been seeing him put up. And he did play 38 minutes in this one. Um, I think it might require I think it might require, let's say, three guys. I'm going to say it's going to require, for them to win, it's going to take three guys that get 25 plus.
Mm.
So it's going to take Jimmy, obviously. He'd be
Mm-hmm.
one of those. It's going to take Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take either one of Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they got two of those tonight, with Duncan getting 26 and Jimmy getting 35. But I think someone, LeBron is going to be absolutely, he might play better than he did tonight, and he played almost perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he does not want this going 7 games. AD does not want this going 7 games. So I think it's going to take one more threat. And they all had double figures tonight from the starters, but I don't think that'll even be enough. I think it's going to take, one of those guys not getting 11, 12, but one of them getting 25 or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. That's my bold prediction. If the Heat can win, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think I also a little tidbit. I really was really impressed with Kendrick Nunn tonight.
Yeah.
Previously throughout the series, he's been able to come in to kind of supplement the role of what Goran Dragic would normally be doing. Hasn't exactly produced the way Goran Dragic produces, but tonight he really stepped up. I mean, 28 minutes, he bagged 14 points. He got a couple dimes, about 3 dimes, and then 4 rebounds. Contributed in pretty good ways at times, and I think if he can repeat that again, I think Miami can have a pretty good chance.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, the thing that's jumping out to me looking at the box score, if you look at the plus minuses for the Lakers,
Let
all right,
me see.
solid starting lineup. Danny Green a plus 12 with the high, LeBron and AD plus 7. But you see what bit him. It's something that's bit him all year, or something that had the potential to rather in the playoffs is their bench. Kyle Kuzma 22 minutes, 3 of 10 from the field. A plus minus of -17. Not going to get it done. Rajon Rondo, -13 plus minus on 1 of 7 from the field. Caruso with a -6. These are all guys playing 20, 22 minutes or so. Lakers run a 4-man bench, or have been. Miami Heat only running the 2 guys off the bench with Iguodala and Kendrick Nunn. But, I mean, you see, the Lakers did not get bench production tonight, and it showed.
Just a quick correction, Troy. Please mention Markieff Morris for me real quick, because I'm seeing a big fat goose egg, one board in 23 minutes of play.
Yeah, Morris got some really good cardio in today. 0 points, 0 blocks, 0 steals, 0 assists, 1 board in 22 minutes. 0 of 2 from the field. Dude, that ain't gonna get it done.
No.
And it's gonna take some bench production,
Mm-hmm.
probably, unless it's gonna continue to be LeBron and AD and maybe KCP dropping 15, 16.
Absolutely.
Is that enough?
I mean, you pretty much just said it. Like the Laker bench needs to be better. I mean, you can't have some person coming in 20 plus minutes and only scoring Well, I take that back. Nothing. We're getting 1 rebound. Like
Yeah.
you got to contribute more in some way, and I think the Lakers will probably try to figure that out. You know, Game 6 is going to be a hat trick. We're going to see who wins, who gets the
Yeah.
who gets that third win.
Well, I mean, think about it. If the Lakers get any sort of decent bench production tonight, we're talking. This is a different podcast episode, right? This is different. This is talking about LeBron getting his fourth ring. This is talking about LeBron getting his Finals MVP. This is talking about the Miami Heat playing good. Good year. Hats off to them. They're done. They're heading back from Orlando. They're out of the bubble. The bubble's over. Like, this is a different show. If the Lakers bench does anything in Game 5, they didn't do anything, and Miami Heat took advantage of that, survive in advance, get a 3-point win, and now we're talking about, okay, can they force a Game 7? Okay, can they win the series? Okay, like, what's going to happen? So a tale of two, possible storylines, obviously,
Yeah.
after Game 5. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Game 6 Sunday night. Any other news notes on this series or anything else you want to address?
I'm gonna be really honest with you. I really want to see a Game 7. I think
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's gonna show big once again. I think they're gonna force a Game 7, and then honestly, I won't be able to tell you what happens until if that even happens.
Dude, Jimmy has been incredible. There's no other word for it. What he's been able to do, how he's been able to produce at such a high clip in this series, and the way that he just turns everything on in the playoffs, and the way that he's also needed to kick in another gear in this series has been very, very special. He kind of flies under the radar a little bit, if you will, regular season wise. I mean, obviously, vocal leader on that team, obviously up there in terms of production, but like, yeah, to do this, what he's doing, it's next level.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like we don't really talk about Jimmy Butler in the sense of a leader, just because of his previous stings with teams that haven't gone so well in terms of
Yeah.
what happened in Minnesota. Apparently, there was a lot of drama in the locker room. Apparently, he beat the starters with the five stringers. Like,
Yeah.
that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Just his time in Philadelphia, and by the way, Philadelphia fan, huh? Still?
Yes. Yeah, I'm happy to have Doc Rivers, man. I really am.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jimmy just 30. Think about this: 35, 12 boards, 11 assists, 5 steals, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. Again, he's a great player. We know that, but to come in and do this against a LeBron and AD led Lakers team, with him being actually short his point guard, is nothing short of spectacular. So hats off to Jimmy Butler, able to get that done. I don't know if you saw after, so the 40-point triple-double that he had in Game 3, I believe the stat or the like news headline was that was I don't know if it was first in a long time, 40-point triple-double without attempting a three.
Really?
Yeah. So Jimmy got that done without shooting a three. And think about it. I mean, recent history, you think about, I don't know if it was finals stat or playoff stat where that's the case, but, either way, I mean, he did it on the attack mode. And if he didn't shoot well all year, he's not known for his three-point shooting by any means, but he can knock him down. He hit one in this game, but very impressive in today's day and age. And today, even with the team that he's on that shoots a lot, to get to the hole, to get to the line, to hit mid-range, to hit pull-ups, and drop a 40-point triple-double in Game 3, and drop 35 again in Game 5. Impressive from Jimmy G buckets. Bro, we'll see what happens Game 6.
Can't wait, man. It's gonna be exciting.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Well, I'm so glad you came on. We'll probably have you on again.
Hey,
We can break down Game 6 action, preview Game 7 maybe. I don't
I
know.
hope so.
Or maybe we'll be crowning LeBron yet again, and we can break that down, talk about his legacy maybe in that episode.
Oh,
And
yes.
so the Baseline Facetime Podcast is not going anywhere. We're going to wrap up this season strong, so look forward to a couple more episodes coming up as we wind down the NBA season. Again, Los Angeles Lakers lead the Miami Heat 3-2. Game 6 coming up on Sunday the 11th. All right, so make sure you tune into that one, and we will have a show coming up for that. All right, Skyler, you're an official baseliner now. You're an official host of, co-host, whatever you want to say. You are guest host, special guest. You killed it. So you're an official baseliner of the Baseline Facetime Podcast. How's it feel?
Man, all the people I need to think right now. Oh, man.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, I'll catch you later. We will catch you later. And, yeah, great episode. We will see what happens. NBA Finals. Be sure to check it out. We'll see you next time. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Baseline Facetime Podcast. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.